In this video, we will walk through the iSupe product with a focus on the Supervisee features. Here we're looking at an email that we received from a supervisor. This is a session invite email. It includes details about the session, such as when it will start. It also includes connection parameters, things that we need to connect to the session. To join this session, we will go to www.isupelive.com and use these connection parameters. So after going to that website, we'll click on the login button, enter our Supervisee username and password, and log in. We'll click on the Join Session button, and we'll notice that we currently do not belong to any open sessions. We'll click on the Join button to enter our connection parameters to join this particular session. There are three pieces of information that we need to connect to any session. We have a session ID, a session token, and a session password. And these should be provided to us by our supervisor. After entering these in, we join the session and take a look at our session details and start time. When we're ready, we'll enter the session. This should be a familiar chat interface. On the right side, we will see our supervisor's messages. On the left side, we'll see our messages. And in the center, we'll see some relative times. Relative times are nice because we can tell how relevant some messages are to us by glancing at how old they are, how many minutes ago these messages were posted. By double-clicking on the chat window, we bring up the Send Message dialog box. You'll see there's a number of pre-programmed messages that we can use. We indicate that we're ready to get started. And we can begin our session. If we encounter some trouble with the client, we can simply double-click to bring up the Send Message dialog and click on the Help button. This sends a help message to our supervisor. You'll notice that it is in red, and red means that this is a high priority message. And it's worth noting that the pre-programmed messages that we saw before, such as help, please clarify, yes, no, okay, these can actually be changed in the options menu and customized. So we've received a message back from our supervisor, but perhaps we don't quite understand what they mean. So we ask them to clarify. While we wait for a response back, I'll just say that this demo was done on a PC using the Google Chrome internet browser. In reality, it's more likely that our Supervisee will probably log in from a mobile device such as an iPad or an iPhone. Regardless of the device that's used to connect to the iSupe system, whether it's an iPad, an iPhone, whether it's a PC or a Mac, whether it's from the Mozilla Firefox internet browser or Safari internet browser or Google Chrome internet browser, all the messages that are sent to and from the iSupe system are sent in a secure fashion using industry standard security features. In particular, messages are encrypted using 128 public-private key encryption, SSL over HTTPS to be specific. More information is provided on our website about this if you're interested in understanding more about our security features, you can go to our website. All of our documentation is located online, and there's a section in the documentation with regards to security. Now, throughout the session, all of our messages are time-stamped. The display is one that's a relative time display, meaning how many minutes ago relative to the current present time was this message received. This lets us know in a very glanceable way whether certain messages are still relevant to us or whether they're quite old. These messages are automatically, or these times rather, are automatically updated throughout the session. So here we've received a message from our supervisor, and in fact it's a red message. Red indicates a high priority message. So perhaps we implement that advice that was given to us by the supervisor, and we receive some feedback back. Now, one feature that the supervisor has is to change the status of previous messages. And we see this message, the status has just changed. In fact, it's been marked with a strike through, which means it's no longer relevant. Now, if we leave the session and click on join, we still see that the session is available to us. It's still an open session, and that session will remain open until the supervisor closes it. When we're done, we always want to remember to log out. Now we'll demonstrate another way to join a session. Previously, we joined a session manually, meaning we logged in and we entered the connection parameters manually, the session ID, the token, and the password. But we have another option. When we receive an invitation email, at the bottom of that email there's a quick link. This quick link allows us to quickly join a session simply by clicking on the link. The only information that we'll have to provide is to log in using our username and password. You'll notice that the session ID and token are already filled in for us, and then for security purposes the password hasn't been filled in for us, so we'll have to enter that manually. But this quick join feature is a nice time saver. Join the session, take a look at the session details to make sure they're correct, and when we're ready we can enter the session. This is an easy way and probably the most typical way to join a session. This concludes this video.